Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be all about Amano shrimp and how to look after them. These shrimp have been in the mail for almost 24 hours, so the first thing I do when I get them is put them in the tank to get them up to temperature. After about 20 minutes, I put them in a bucket and began to drip acclimate them. To do this, get a siphon going in a bit of airline tubing and tie a knot on the end of it so the water will slowly drip into the bucket. After about an hour of this, they were ready to go into the tank. I've just bought 11 Amano shrimp to add to the 4 that I already have, so now I have a total of 15 Amano shrimp in this tank. The general rule is 1 Amano shrimp per 5 litres. This is a 75 litre tank, so going by that rule, 15 is the perfect amount. However, it doesn't just completely depend on the volume of water. If your tank is very bare, you probably won't need this many algae eaters, as there won't be as many surfaces for the algae to grow on. But if your tank's like mine and has a lot of plants and hardscape, you'll need more Amano shrimp to do the job. This is a little tufted blackbeard algae. When it's in an early stage like this, Amano shrimp will be able to eat it. But if your tank is just full of blackbeard algae, then horned nerite snails will be a better option. Amano shrimp are pretty much the best algae eaters out there. They will eat all the most common types of algae in your fish tank, and they graze non-stop, so you'll be able to see a difference in a couple of days. Cherry shrimp actually eat more types of algae, but because they're smaller and less aggressive eaters, they don't do as good of a job as Amano shrimp. You can keep Amano shrimp and cherry shrimp together with no problems though. Both are completely peaceful. Plants like Marimo moss balls or Java moss or any other type of aquatic moss are really good with shrimp because little particles will get stuck in the fibres of the moss and the Amano shrimp like to eat it. It's definitely best to keep Amano shrimp in a heavily planted tank, not only because it'll make them feel a lot more comfortable, but also because live plants help keep the water completely clean when it comes to things like ammonia, nitrite and nitrate. Shrimp are a lot more sensitive to these chemicals than fish, so you want to keep the levels as close to zero as possible. All live plants help with this, especially fast growing stem plants and floating plants. Combination of live plants, manual cleaning and Amano shrimp should keep your tank completely clean. As well as keeping some chemicals low, there are some chemicals in the water that Amano shrimp need, such as calcium, so performing regular water changes will keep that up, and also helps with reducing nitrate. Shrimp need calcium in their water for their exoskeletons, which they regularly molt out of. If it's your first time keeping shrimp, seeing a new molt can scare you, as you might think it's a dead shrimp, but it just means that your shrimp is growing. Don't take these out of the tank, as the same shrimp that molted or other shrimp like these cherry shrimp like to eat it. Like cherry shrimp, after they molt, the female Amano shrimps will release a pheromone that will make all the other male shrimp in the tank start zooming around looking for the female. The next day you'll see the female shrimp carrying loads of eggs, just like this cherry shrimp here. However, the baby Amano shrimp will not be able to survive in fresh water. They need to be moved to salt water to survive and grow up, which can be a very difficult process. Amano shrimp are pretty hardy, and unlike other species of shrimp, they can adapt to a wide range of parameters. But you should aim to keep the pH between 6 to 8, the temperature between 20 to 27, general hardness between 5 and 15. If your water quality isn't ideal, Amano shrimp will jump out of the tank to try and find clean water, so it's a very good idea to keep a lid on the tank. Amano shrimp don't just eat algae, they'll eat almost any fish food you give them, and they're very greedy too. They often pick it up and swim away with it. If you have too much algae, try and avoid feeding them, and this will make them focus more on the actual algae in the tank rather than fish food. But if you haven't got much, a catfish pellet or any sinking pellet will be perfect for them. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, leave a like, subscribe, and check out my channel.